Whether you might realize this or not, you are changing the world with your voice. I know it's a big statement, but if you're open to it, please let's open up that conversation together. Here we go. Hi, my name is Maggie. I'm the founder of the Singing Insiders, in which I help passionate singers just like yourself become the best versions of themselves through singing. And in these episodes, you're going to get practical tools, tips, techniques, insights, exercises all around singing to really help you up-level your singing skills. Now, let's talk about this concept that singers change the world with their voices. And the fact that you're here, the fact that you're listening to me and showing interest in singing in any way tells me that you might be a passionate singer yourself, which means that you are changing the world with your voice. Now I'm gonna go somewhere with this. I know this is an episode that is a little bit different than usual, but I really believe that singing isn't just a hobby, it's a force for good. It really is. And when you sing, you're not just making sound, you're creating joy, connection, healing for some of us, and you're changing lives. Not only the lives of people that are listening to you, but really your own life too. Let's be honest, most singers don't see it that way. Especially when I notice that with singers I work with, when they find themselves into that rut of, I need to practice, I need to do my vocal exercises today. And that's where some singers start to treat singing like it's this practical thing that you need to do, like this to-do item on your list. And then the question is, well, why am I even doing this? Right? So let's go back to that big why so that we can find our passion again and fuel that fire that, we felt when we started singing in the first place. Singing is not just about singing scales and getting technically good. Singing is about impacting the world, leaving behind a legacy through your voice. Can you imagine a world where every singer knows that their voice is valuable? I mean, do you know how valuable your voice is? Does your environment know how valuable your voice and your passion for singing is? Can you imagine a world where music is medicine? It's a therapy, it's a form of wellness, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. Like, that's what we're doing here. And it's so beautiful because it's already happening. If you're thinking back to the last concert that you attended, how did you feel during the concert? How did you feel before the concert? And how did you feel after? If you're a little bit like me, if it was a good concert, assuming that it was a good concert, before the concert, you had excitement, right? My favorite band is Mumford & Sons. And if I have tickets, even if it's in a year, I'm already feeling that excitement of, oh, I cannot wait. Like, it lifts me up. It makes my day. I'm feeling grateful, all those things, right? Gratitude. And then during the concert, if I think back to another concert I went to from Mumford & Sons, I felt on the top of the world. I felt, again, gratitude. I felt amazing because I loved hearing their music and, connecting with whatever they do. Like, it, that feeling, it's hard to describe, but I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down here and that you can relate the feeling that I'm trying to describe. Like that feeling of pure joy, pure love, pure gratitude for the present moment, And then after the concert, oh my God, I'm on a high just from having that experience. I'm on a high for the next few days, weeks, months. Like, I can take myself back to that one concert 3 years ago. Like, I can still feel it. In other words, that artist, in this case, Mumford & Sons, They influenced my life in some way. They made me feel a certain way. They made me be in the present moment, be tapping into those higher, I don't want to sound too woo-woo, but like higher frequencies of energy, of happiness and gratefulness, right? Can you imagine when you can be that for someone else? Can you imagine that you as a singer, you using your voice, you showing up and letting yourself be heard, you're the one creating that experience for someone else? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that powerful? Isn't that the big reason of why we should keep at this? I understand that you might have a passion for singing, and then you start learning about the different vocal techniques, and along the way it might get difficult. And I've been there. I've lost my passion for singing at some point. What used to be a big fire in my heart was a little tiny flame. And our job as passionate singers is to keep that little tiny flame alive and find ways to make that fire burn again. Because it has so much impact on the people around you. And the only thing stopping more singers, just like you and me, from impacting other people and with our voices, is thinking that we do not matter. If singers keep hiding and keep doubting and keep silencing themselves, we're losing that little fire that started off in the first place. This is where we need to step up, even if it's not perfect. We need to create connection. We need to create hope and joy. So here's my invitation to you today. How can you change the world today with your voice? And I know it sounds like this huge thing, like changing the world, but think back to that moment, that concert metaphor, analogy that I shared earlier. How can you at least give a glimpse of that to someone else today? Maybe that looks like singing a happy birthday to someone and sending that as a voice note. Maybe that looks like sharing a recording of yourself, where there's beautiful lyrics that you want to share with someone. Maybe you're just sharing your favorite song with a good friend. Maybe you're singing a lullaby to your son or daughter tonight. Like, how can you change the world today with your voice? And please let me know in the comments here down below, because the more we share, the more we can inspire each other, and the more we can change the world with our voice together. This is our mission, right? And I know, again, it sounds so big, but it's truly the choice that we get to make right now. Do you keep holding on to your idea of it's not perfect, I'm not good enough, and I have to practice and all those things? Or do you want to focus on impact and how your voice can be an inspiration for someone? And if you just focus on that, the rest will follow. Now, I do agree, because there might be a little voice in your head saying, yes, Maggie, I'm with you. But I do need to know my vocal techniques, right? Like, I need to know how to use my voice in order to impact someone. If it doesn't sound good, someone will not be impacted by it, right? I agree with that. Yes, 100%. That's why it's not a this or that. No, it's an and relationship. It's this and that. So my next conversation that I want to open up with you is the actual training side of things. You need to know which vocal techniques to apply in order to use your voice in the right way. And that's exactly why I've put together a training specifically focused on singing high notes easily without straining or pushing your voice. That's a topic that is near and dear to my heart because that's something I've been struggling with for years until I found the secret ingredient. And that secret ingredient is what I will share with you on that special training. So I will link to that training in the description down below. And my invitation to you is to go click that link so that we can keep this conversation going from the vocal technique perspective and see how you too can sing high notes easily without straining or pushing your voice. So go click that link. Let's keep this conversation moving. I want to thank you for staying throughout this whole episode. I know it sounds like a big wishy-washy topic, but I appreciate you for staying on, for being here, for spending your time here with me today. I hope you got something out of this whole episode, and I'll see you in that upcoming training or next week on the next episode. Bye.